Hello and welcome. I am once again here on PowerPoint, this time looking at a slightly weird car, the Toyota Sera. Now, this car is obviously an old Toyota from the 90s, so when you look at it, you're like, well, why is this guy doing a video on that? Well, it has a little party trick, which and then after that, you'll see why I'm making this video. Yes, McLaren F1 doors. This is a stock feature. This is not a raced car. This is actually a real feature on them. And obviously you may think, wow, okay, well, they're just copycats. They copied this from the McLaren F1. No, they didn't. McLaren copied the F1 doors from this. So yes, this car inspired the McLaren F1. And obviously, and when you're inside, these are basically full glass doors. When you sit inside and you look around, you feel it's like a fighter jet. It's because it's so airy. Now in the summer, obviously, and you're probably thinking, wait, in the summer, what if it's hot? What if all the heat comes bearing down on my head? Well, there is an option to get these like curtains. But yeah, anyway, and obviously this is and over here we have an actual picture from Toyota. So yes, these are definitely real doors. So story time. In the 90s, Toyota in America was just selling Toyota Camrys and Corollas. These were ordinary, boring, but reliable, cheap and useful cars. So obviously everyone bought them. Hordes of people bought these. They were everywhere. However, on the other side of the globe, in Japan, they made the quirky cars at Toyota, including this, the Sera. Imagine the boardroom meeting. Yeah, so what should we make today? Yeah, how about we make like a really ugly car, but then we give it gull-wing doors. We give it McLaren doors, and then the boss was like, yeah, that sounds brilliant. So yeah, and in fact the one that I got to sit in was, I think it was imported because it had Japanese writing all over it. Now the example I got to see, obviously over here you can see me posing like a villain. I felt like one of those Gucci models, like in I don't know, like a Mustang, except this was a Toyota. But obviously the owner has restored the car as a project, so and honestly I don't blame him. I mean, it's what a car to do a project with. It still needs minor bits done, like there was like a bit of door trim missing, but like that's really rare to find because this is obviously a very rare car and you won't see much of these. So yeah, obviously when I'm opening the door, like he told me to be careful because like basically they spring up, like you're opening it and like, so you know, if you're careful you might accidentally get a bunch of Toyota doors smashed into your face. But obviously this wasn't a big issue, it's just a small fix. If you're careful it won't affect you. And the stock steering wheel wasn't there. It had like one of those Japanese racer style ones, but honestly it actually kind of suits the feel of the car because it's like a Japanese car, so having that type of Momo-ish wheel there is quite nice. And obviously sitting in this car, there's only like 100 of these in the UK, probably 80 still running, so it's an extremely it's quite a glamorous sight to see one of these. So I was overjoyed to honestly sit in one. Finally, over here we have the styling. So I've got 3 pictures over here: the front, the rear, and the side. Now, on the front, honestly, with the doors closed, this looks like a normal car. I've obviously had to blur out the plates because you know. But yeah, I mean, we have we have the sort of Japanese like square license plate for added authenticity. And yeah, it's generally a plain looking car. I mean, it looks very Toyota-y. I believe it's similar to, again, like on the front, it looks very similar to a Corolla or a Camry at the time. On the rear, honestly, it kind of gives me Toyota MR2 vibes, like Mark II MR2 vibes, like the rear lights. Got the rear hatch, obviously. And honestly, there's not much boot space, but then again, this car isn't really made for running errands. It's more, you know. Yeah. Now actually, honestly, there's a lot of glass. So, you know, again, you're probably gonna want to get like tint or like curtains, because otherwise this car will be an oven if you leave it out in the sun. But yeah, honestly, from the front and the back, it's a very generic car. Now, however, on the side, now obviously the face camera is blocking it a little, but it is a bit. It's a bit more extravagant. I mean, you can see the glass more, and like the top, it does look a bit, you know, out there. But obviously, it looks really inconspicuous, because you wouldn't really know, like you wouldn't really know that it would have golden doors, and that's what I like about this car a lot. It's very inconspicuous. You wouldn't know that it has this insane Easter egg on it. But yeah, standard, you know, Toyota hubcaps. But yeah, again, it's not much to look at, and from a far glance, you wouldn't know that this car has got McLaren F1 doors. And finally here, that's my verdict. So obviously, sitting inside this car is just insane. I mean, it's like, and actually, and a feature which I love about it is that it's like normal and crazy mixed together, because you've got a normal looking car, a normal looking interior, normal engine with doors like that. And yeah, it's I wouldn't really call it like a poor man's Lamborghini or it's more like a poor man's F1, if you know what I mean. It's honestly, it's still a collector's item. It's so rare. But yeah, and honestly, in terms of like speed, this isn't exactly what you'd call a speed demon. I mean, Doug DeMuro, you might know him. He drove one of these. It's like nippy and agile, but it's like, again, this was a Japanese compact car in Japan. So let's just say Tokyo. In Tokyo, the streets are very narrow and twisty. Not twisty, more like turny. And yeah, you obviously want a very like agile car to get around the streets. And then again, yeah, it is and the purpose generally is it's a compact car with the coolest doors you've ever seen. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video there. I hope you enjoyed. This was a slightly different video today, different car. You'd never expect me to do this, but here we are doing it. Yeah, if you like this type of content, drop a comment, and yeah, I will see you next time. Goodbye. Signing out.